Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. I hope you guys are all enjoying your weekend so far and looking forward to the 4:30 kickoff tomorrow where Spurs take on Newcastle down at the Spurs Stadium. I thought I'd jump on and do a little bit of a preview, talk a little bit about Spurs, how they're doing at the moment, talk a little bit about Newcastle and what I hope to see from us tomorrow, go on to the lineups and give my prediction at the end of the video as well. I'll be honest, I am feeling quietly confident about this one, but we'll start off by talking about Spurs, who are having, a good season. Conte has got them playing in a very structured way, not necessarily the most exciting football to watch, but it's working for them. Having said that, it didn't work for them in the midweek when they lost 2-0 against Manchester United. And I did watch quite a bit of that game and they weren't great. If it wasn't for Lloris, they could have lost 4-5-6-0. So I'm hoping they play like that again tomorrow. I'm hoping that hasn't given them the kick up the backside and they now come out raging. Because for a fact, Conte would have had them doing triple time in training to make up for what wasn't a good display. Defensively, they looked a bit shaky. I thought Dyer specifically had, a Dyer game. Didn't have a very good game. Sorry about that. That was awful. But the one thing that Spurs do have is Harry Kane up front. They've got Son, who started the season a little bit slow, but is a very good player. Kulusevski, a big fan of him. He's been out with injury. It's unsure whether he will be back for the game tomorrow. I wish him all the best, but from a Newcastle point of view, I'm hoping that he's not back. Richarlison, I don't believe he'll be available either. So there's a couple of players that could be out there, but still, when you've got Harry Kane, who's scored, I think 9 or 10 goals so far this season, Son, who can, turn the ball around quickly. And that's the thing with Spurs. If you actually go through their performances this season, when they beat Leicester 6-2, 6-3, Leicester had more possession in that game. When they beat Brighton 1-0, Brighton had more possession. When they beat Nottingham Forest 2-0, Nottingham Forest, who are bottom of the league, who are not having a good season, they still had more possession than Spurs did. Spurs don't play the possession game, and we know this. Possession doesn't win you football matches, goals do. But that isn't how Spurs play. Spurs are very quick in the turnover to get in on goal. And despite not playing great against Manchester United, they did still create a couple of them opportunities where they turn it round quick and they get in on goal. So that's certainly something for us to look out for. Newcastle at the moment are very good defensively. And you talk about the fact that Manchester United beat them 2-0. When we played Manchester United, we had, and I don't want to overdo it here or sound too confident, but, Ronaldo, Sancho, Bruno Fernandes, Anthony, they couldn't get past our defence. Now, it's not to say that Harry Kane and Son can't, because they are very good, but put it this way, we went down to Spurs last season and lost 5-1. And part of that was because we didn't sit back, we went for it. And that's what we want to see again tomorrow. We don't want to see a Newcastle side turn up and, play it safe. And I really don't think we'll do that. We didn't do it last time. We were punished for it last time. But we are a different team this time. Personnel is different, but more than anything else, I feel like the mentality's different. And just the way we're playing football now, it's fast forward. However long with Eddie Howe, the defence is so much more compact. There's that great photo after the Everton game with our back five celebrating together, and it just shows how much it meant to them to get that clean sheet. And if we can get a clean sheet in this game, I think we've got every chance. And that's what brings my little bit of confidence in. What I'm not as confident about is Newcastle potentially going forward in the game. If Almiron wants to continue scoring bangers every other game, then I'll take it. With Trippier over free kicks, with our set pieces, we can really grab something. Callum Wilson's been a little bit quiet in the last few games, and I've seen a few people say, what's going on? Is he all right? For me, Callum Wilson is always quiet. until he scores. Like, that's the way Callum Wilson plays. So I wouldn't say that he's not in good form. It would be good to get him on the score sheet again. But generally, I think he's just going forward without us having Maxi, for instance, without us having Isak to bring on. We don't maybe have as much creatively going forward. I think that Murphy has done a really good job for what he's done since he came in, and he did have a decent cut in and shot against Everton that went over the bar, but he isn't Maxi. And I'm really happy to see that Almiron is really pushing on now, because if Maxi's not going to do it, if Isak's not available, we need somebody to do it, and thankfully Almiron is the man. Now, what will be so interesting tomorrow is to see how these two teams collide. Because as I've mentioned, Newcastle really put the pressure on, press high, win the ball back. Statistically, one of the best turnover ratios for any team in the Premier League, and I think possibly the best ratio for turnover to chance created. And that's how we put the pressure on and win the ball back, which suggests we will be high up the field doing that. Does that play into Spurs' hands of exactly what they're best at, which is turning the ball off us and countering the other way? So it will be really interesting to see how the two teams and how the two styles collide. I think it has the potential for being a really end-to-end game, which is exciting. And look, don't get me wrong, if it ended 2-2, 3-3, a point for Newcastle in this game is a very good point. A very good point. I always say this, and you're probably sick of me saying it by now, but I still say that an away point against, the majority of Premier League teams is a good point. And against a Spurs side who are very well drilled under Conte, a point would be a good point. But I am hoping that we can, as I say, take advantage of them not being great in the midweek. They have a big Champions League game coming up in this week as well that they could have one eye on. And as I say, defensively, we are very strong. So let's jump into the lineup. So I've spent weeks talking about our lineup. Could we change this? Could we change that? Could Target come in for Burn? Anyhow, he's just playing what's working. When a team is winning and playing well, you don't change it. Pope and goal, Trippier right back, Shaw and Botman centre backs. Botman, fantastic. Really, really good. And you talk about the pair of them playing against Cristiano Ronaldo last week, and could they handle it? We even talked about could Dan Burn handle Anthony? He got done a few times, but ultimately we didn't concede. So the confidence in that back line is very high. Will Son and Kane cause them problems? Yes. Could they well score one or two? Possibly. But I am keeping the confidence in that back four. Could Target come in? Maybe. People are suggesting that the reason Target didn't maybe come on in the Everton game later on was because he would rather run Burn through the whole game and keep Target fresh for this one. Is that possible? Yes. Anything's possible with an Eddie Howe side, and despite it being 3 games in a week, we've only got, is it 4 or 5 more till the World Cup break? Let's just have it all out now. Run your best players as hard as we can, and then give them a month off in a month's time. So I'm not too worried. It's just whether maybe someone like Burn, who was getting a little bit leggy. I think a lot of Newcastle players were getting a little bit tired at the end of that Everton game, is why we could see some changes. But when it's working, do you change it? Although if Eddie Howe brought in Lascelles, it's not what I wanted, but I wouldn't be surprised, because I think he just goes with what he thinks is right. So I'll keep the back 5 the same. Let me know your thoughts on the lineups down below. Going into the midfield, BRUNO has just had a little baby, so massive congratulations to him. Hopefully, the missus is happy for him to pop down to Spurs for the game tomorrow. Who knows? As I say, he's just had his baby. Hopefully he'll be available, but congratulations to him anyway. I really hope he's available. And then alongside him, who's it going to be? It's understood that Joey picked up a knock in the Everton game, which is why he went off at half-time. And then you've got Longstaff, and then you've got Willock, who came on as well. So I think we've got 4 decent players there. Shelvey is understood to be in contention as well. I don't think Shelvey starts. I don't think Shelvey plays unless the game needs it later on. I think Eddie Howe kind of said it himself that he's back, but he's kind of on the fringe as and when he's needed. And I think when we've got 4 midfielders playing relatively well together in any kind of pattern, really, the 3, whether it's Longstaff, Willock, Joelinton, Bruno, it's kind of work and mix and match. We could see maybe an appearance from Shelvey this weekend, and it is very exciting that he could be available again. And I would love to see Shelvey playing that more holding role. I say holding role, the kind of sitting role that Bruno's been doing, to allow maybe Bruno and maybe either Joelinton or Willock to kind of get a little bit more up and down. But I think for this one, it'll be Bruno doing his thing again. Joelinton and Willock. It depends how I want to play, and I spoke about this quite a lot in the Manchester United game. Longstaff gets a bit of stick because he's not the best midfielder we've got, but the thing is, when we play Longstaff, it allows Bruno to be more further forward. And that's the thing. Would you rather have Willock making the shooting runs, or would you rather have Bruno running through the middle of the field? Regardless... But then Longstaff has had a lot of game time and has looked tired. Okay, I'm going to go Bruno, Joelinton, Willock. And then up front, you can't really make too many changes there. It'll be Wilson up front. There's been questions over whether we could see Chris Wood involved because of the fact that Wilson has played more games than we really wanted him to. The reason we brought in Isak was to try and relieve Wilson from playing all of these matches. Wilson's got to start. I think what we would have wanted more of is like maybe in the Everton game, had we been up 2-0 up at half-time, then you bring Wood on. Because we've had some quite close games, we've not been able to change it maybe as much as we wanted to. If we are able to be up in this game against Spurs, maybe we could see Chris Wood coming on. But I think it has to be Wilson. I think it has to be Almiron. Despite the fact that he's literally running his legs off, every 2 days at the moment, and so is a lot of players. And so are Spurs as well. It's every Premier League team. If you actually look at the scores through the midweek, they were all 1-0. I think Fulham beat Villa 3-0, didn't they? That's why Steven Gerrard went. But other than that, really it was 1-0s, 0-0s. You could tell that I think most teams are feeling that effect of having 2 games in 2 days, and now we've got a third one. Spurs will be in the same boat as we are, and maybe that comes into our advantage as well, because we know how fit our side are at the moment. But then you could say that maybe they've got more rotation than maybe we do. But anyway, I'll play Almiron, and it'll be Murphy on the left as well. Not his greatest game. I think he really spiked when he had that fantastic game a few weeks ago, and since then he's been okay. He works hard. As I say, he has created a couple of chances. The alternative is Fraser, who I think is better than Murphy technically, but doesn't work. He's not as quick. He's not as powerful as Murphy is. And I think Murphy generally suits what Eddie Howe's trying to do pressing-wise than Fraser does, unless you want to give Elliot Anderson a go. But if we were going to do that, I would have said play him in the Everton game at home, not away against Spurs on a Sunday. But that is my lineup, so let me know your thoughts on it down below. I feel like I've talked a little bit longer than I planned to today, so I will wrap it up now with a prediction. I did my full prediction video of all of the games yesterday, if you want to go and check that out. I went 1-0 Newcastle. Yeah, I've backed it. I went 1-1 against Manchester United, and it was a draw. So I was close. I went 1-0 against Everton, and I got it spot on. So hopefully, I'm going to get the third one right in a row. Third one in a week right in a row. And I'm going to go 1-0 Newcastle. I think defensively, we're strong. I can't see us conceding, despite the fact that we've been so good defensively. The Spurs have got a lot going forward, so we're not unbeatable, you know what I mean, defensively. We can concede, and we can concede 1 or 2, but I'm keeping the faith in what we're doing at the moment, and we will be strong at the back. And then for the goal, something from a set piece maybe. As I said, going forward, we haven't been too creative, but we have been very good in clearly on the training ground working on these set pieces, coming in. Bruno's goal the other night from the header. I'm backing the Botman goal. Sven Botman on the score sheet and 1-0 Newcastle. Alright guys, thanks for watching as always. Let me know your prediction for the game down below. Have I over-egged it? I'm hoping it'll be tight. I'm hoping we can really put in a good shift. As I say, I'd love to see it just be that one of them games where it's 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. But at the same time, I think if we can stay defensively solid like we have been, I think we can go and nick something, maybe with a 1-0. So let me know your thoughts down below. As always, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're still watching 15 minutes later and you haven't hit that big red subscribe button, please do. It really helps the channel. I will be back tomorrow for my reaction after the game. So be sure to subscribe and you'll be notified when I post that video. And I'm doing pretty much daily content for Newcastle at the moment as well. So be sure not to miss out. Enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy your Sunday. Fingers crossed for a result tomorrow, and I'll catch you later.